Coach, I noticed Kosai made a big push and is listed as the starter at will. I asked Coach McGuire a couple weeks ago about it, but just your perspective on what he did in camp in this offseason.
Yeah, he had a good spring, not a great spring, but he flashed in the spring, and we thought, moving him inside might be a better fit for him. He's a really smart football player, and I think his ability to diagnose a play and understand the game and where he needs to fit, along with his speed, really allowed him to make a ton of plays in fall camp, and he separated himself, and I think he's going to be one of our best defensive players this year.
And it just seems on paper that having Rabbit and Muddy and Pearson on the field at the same time is a real strength. Can you just discuss what that adds to the defense and how it helps?
Well, you got three guys there that have played a lot of football. They understand the game. They're fast football players. They're all physical and guys that can cover and guys that can blitz. And so having that combination gives us the ability to move guys around a little bit. I like Mudd being close to the line of scrimmage. He can play man coverage on a slot, but he can also blitz and make plays off an edge. And both Reggie and Rabbit can play a deep half. They can play the post and also play man coverage. So having those skill sets really bodes well for them fitting our system, and I think it's going to allow them to make a lot of plays.
Earlier, Coach McGuire did mention the leadership and the depth with you guys' defensive line this year. For you, going into this game, how is their leadership and also with them maybe taking less snaps going to be crucial for you guys?
You're talking about leadership in our defensive line? Okay. Well, you look at guys like Tony and Jay Boog. They've, again, been here a while, played a lot of football. I've noticed both of them in the off-season program when I first got here in the weight room, how hard they work. Just the leadership example they set for everyone else. But I think what's really helped is bringing a couple of guys like Miles and V in to keep pushing the competition. So they knew they had to show up every day. And I like, the mix that we have right there. And, Phillip's a guy that has made some progress too. When competition can push guys that are, the older established guys, they know they can't rest. And so having that good competition every single day, I think pushed all of them. And the standards that they're going to hold for the entire D-line, I think, can be held, really high, because if you're not ready to go, get the next guys in, and there's not a big drop-off.
Coach McGuire did say Murray State has a very strong veteran defense as well. So do you think going into this week one game, it's more going to be a defense versus defense battle with experience-wise?
Well, they definitely have a very good, experienced offensive line. They've got a center who was first-team all-conference, very good football player, can play in a lot of different leagues. They're a team that's going to, I believe, if they do what they've done in the past, try to establish the run. And that's been their MO, and then play action pass. To do that, you've got to have a good offensive line, and I think they believe they do. And, viewing, from my end, they do. So it's going to be a challenge for our guys, and we're going to directly challenge them that it's going to be one up front. Having said that, I don't think it's our defense versus their defense. It's our guys playing to their standard regardless of who we're playing against, and I know our offense will do the same thing.
At the Murray State offense, who are some of the key players that really stand out that you guys are going to have to be paying attention for?
Well, I think it starts with a quarterback. He was a guy that was the offensive player of the or a freshman player of the year for their conference last year as a redshirt freshman. He's a redshirt sophomore now, so he's a guy that's played some ball. He is definitely a dangerous guy with his legs. He moves the sticks. Very athletic, 6'2", about 210-pound quarterback. He's the second leading rusher on their team, and he didn't play the entire season. So that gives you an indication. Their running back, number 31, Williams, it's not William, but number 31, he's a guy that is very physical. Again, another all-conference type player for them. Last year, you see him running through a lot of tackles. He can be really patient and then explode. He's a really good player, and they've got their top three receivers back.
Taking a win out of this conversation, what do you want to see from your defense this weekend?
Well, I want to see our guys play hard and with confidence. Anytime you put a new scheme in, there can be some questions in certainly when we first got together in the spring, they didn't know exactly how things fit. We've run a lot of, reps, particularly with their 1s and 2s. I expect that there may be some, tweaks that they're not going to have everything down. But we should play our fastest that we've played since we've been here. And I expect our guys to play extremely hard, extremely fast, and play with a, an attitude that we're going to get after people.
Which kind of bouncing off what you were just talking about before with the backfield that they have. When you have two guys like that bring so much different things to the table with how they run the ball, what are the challenges of going up against a team that brings so much to the table when they can run like that?
Well, it makes a heck of a test. On Monday, it was Sunday, so in our week, that was first day of the week. The first thing I showed our defense was their first 2 drives against the University of Cincinnati last year. And they go right down the field, put a nice drive together, convert a number of 3rd downs. They end up throwing an interception in the end zone. They get the ball right back, go right down the field and score again. And, everybody knows Cincinnati was a heck of a team last year and it had a really good defense. So this is a very capable team. They've got most of their players back. And so it's going to be a veteran group that's going to play here with a lot of confidence and not be intimidated, I don't believe. And so our guys, need to know they're going to be up for a challenge, and we've got to meet that challenge. And while we've got a lot of respect for them, it doesn't matter who we play. We have to play to our standard.